Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It's always a pleasure to meet somebody new. Today I have a new rare game experience for you. And guys, if you're new to this is where I go into rare and odd and often bizarre world of video games, looking for those truly rare experiences. Today, like many days, we go back to the realm of the arcade, and the early days of it, in fact, to find a game that I'd wager not many of you have seen or heard of because, quite frankly, not that many of them were ever made, and that's SkySkipper. If you're scratching your head as to what this one is, that's okay. I think most people will be a little lost on this one as well, so if you have a minute, grab a snack and sit back and relax as we dig into some arcade history in one of the rarest arcade cabinets, well, ever. Kinda feels like I say that a lot, but it still stands, so let's get started. In 1981, Nintendo was heavily working on becoming a name in the arcade scene. Now, they had had a few good releases under their belt from 1973 with the laser clay shooting system, all the way up to their first big hit, Donkey Kong, in 1981. They wanted to keep pushing on this and put their hit team, R&D 1, onto another title, known as SkySkipper. This was designed by Genyo Takeda and Shigeru Miyamoto. Yep, that Miyamoto, along with Ikegami Shishinki, a company that had worked with Nintendo on previous cabinets. The idea, at least from what it looks like to me, was to play into the success of Donkey Kong a bit. How do you ask? Well, let's take a look at how the game played, and I think this might make a little more sense. You see, the basic gameplay involved a player flying a biplane, using it to free animals and the royal family from a group of gorillas holding them. If you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, didn't King Kong get attacked by biplanes on the Empire State Building? Why, yes. Yes, he did. And I get the feeling that they either consciously or subconsciously went there too. In order to do this successfully, as in freeing everybody, the player's plane was equipped with bombs that they could drop on the gorillas. This would knock the gorilla down, stunning it, and quite literally pop all the hostages into the air repeatedly while the gorilla was stunned. No, I'm not kidding. At this point, you would then swoop in and snatch them up into your plane. Each one of these characters were named after suits and cards. Literally spade, heart, diamond, and club, with king, queen, and joker being the last character. You had to snap up all of them to finish the stage. The gorillas themselves were defenseless though. They could actually throw these little ball-like items that they had in their hand up into the air to try to hit your plane and destroy it. It even had multiple stages, which each with a little trickier navigation than the last. Lose all 3 ships and you're done. Simple as that. Now, why haven't I heard of this game, I hear all of you asking? It's got reasonable ties to Donkey Kong, the gameplay doesn't sound bad, it had Nintendo's premier development team behind it, seems like it should have been pretty widely distributed and well received, you say? Yeah. That's where you'd be wrong, apparently. Me too, as well. Not putting any shade anywhere. The game actually did get a release, but it was a limited location release to test it in Japan, where it was met with less than rave reviews. As a result, they actually tried shipping some of them to the United States to see if this area took to it any better, and pretty much got the same response. Pretty much universally, nobody really seemed to care for the game. And some of the reasons kind of make sense. The complaints were that the game was fun enough and going for a high score, but it lacked a lot in the variety department. You see, there were only a few stages and they kind of repeated often, so it felt a little half-baked. It also looked graphically inferior to Donkey Kong that had released before this game, and that was another problem entirely that made people think it was not quite ready for prime time. As a result, many of these cabinets actually got converted over to Popeye cabinets, and very few remain out in the wild, say possibly one, and that one was a restoration project by Alex Crowley. You see, he took one of the PCB boards from a Popeye cabinet that had been converted from a SkySkipper game. Now, he even took one of those Popeye cabinets and used that in his restoration, looking up images from the original cabinet art of SkySkipper to recreate it. Oddly enough, somehow, even before this project was done, the ROM was actually up on MAME sites and playable somehow. Eventually, Nintendo would get a hold of the old ROM and put it on the Switch store. So now, anyone willing to spend $8 can get a chance to try this part of arcade history, which honestly seems a little high for me, but it is what it is. However, that's enough for me. What do you guys think of this one? Have any of you ever played the ROM or picked it up on the Switch store to give it a shot? If so, what did you think? Do you think this actually should have been made into a collection with other rare Nintendo arcade games so that more people would be enticed to play it? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, if you don't mind, please leave this video a like. And if you see more of my stuff you like, consider following the channel. That actually helps me out a lot. Till we meet again though, have a great rest of your day. And until next time, happy gaming.